She is fighting to dance next to Rita and keep up with her. I'm keeping up with Rita, and Rita was trying to dance badly.
Dance bad. I got to stick with her. Oh, God.
Welcome to Round the Table, supporting 80 for Brady. And it's for...
Entertainment Tonight, Entertainment Weekly, Entertainment Last Week.
It's time for the 80 for Brady starting lineup.
Lily Tomlin, Wayne State University.
Rita Moreno, PS 132.
Sally Field, Birmingham High School.
Jane Fonda, college dropout. Lily and I were the first to come on.
Yeah, we know.
And, the producers figured we haven't worked together enough.
Right. And who was second?
Because we did a movie. We finished Grace and Frankie, and then about 10 days later, we did a movie together. It's coming out in March.
What's the name?
Well, let's not promote that movie now.
And then this movie came along, and Lily and I talked to each other. We both thought, this is a pretty good idea, but who are the other two parts going to be? I mean, our wanting to do this depends on who the other two are, and we got lucky.
That's when Jane actually called me, knowing that she and I had tried to work together several times, and it just didn't happen. And when she said it was Jane and that was Lily, and I've been friends with them both for many, many years. We were trying to figure out, you in the late 70s, early 80s, you in the early 80s when we were like, trying to save the world and working with Helen Caldecott.
Right.
And then we learned it was Rita, and that was just exciting.
That was pretty exciting for me because I couldn't believe it. It was my agent who called, and he said, there's this movie, and they want you. And I said, well, who's in it? And he came up with these amazing names. I said, really? Come on. And he said, no, that's for real. It's for real. I said, I'll look at the script, but the answer is yes, no matter what happens. And if I don't like it, I'll ask for changes.
Oh God! And I had just seen you in the new West Side Story. I mean, you won an Oscar for the first one, and in my opinion, you stole that movie.
Wow.
You stole that movie.
Wow, thank you.
You really did.
The story's based on actual women that live in Boston. We haven't got to meet any of them.
Well, how many are still?
Well, there are 4 with us.
There were originally 5, and there are 4 still alive.
Yeah.
And they're in their 80s.
Right.
And we saw.
Oh, they're in their 90s now. They're in their 90s.
And they're
90s.
I know,
and they're like you.
And they are great. I mean, the film I saw was one of them talking to Tom Brady, and I literally thought she was going to go into coronary arrest. She was screaming, and she's watching him on a Zoom call, I guess.
So it's really nice that it's based on a true story. I thought that made it really.
Yeah, I mean, it's embellished because not all of that quite happened the way we did.
What Lily's character brings to our story is made up. The rest of it is
and all of the hijinks getting into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And trying to get the tickets, because at one point the tickets are lost, and we were all having heart attacks about that after we worked so hard to achieve this. And then we go about trying to find a way to get into the...
Well, I go into a closet with Harry Hamlin while all of you have scenes that are just hysterical. And I've been in this.
What are you doing in
years.
that closet, Jane?
How come I read this script and I don't recognize the fact that, wait a minute, these are a lot of funny scenes and I'm in a closet with Harry Hamlin?
Well, okay, that could be worse,
I know a lot of women who would love to be in a closet with Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, at the time it was good, but I mean, when you see the movie, it's like, well, where am I?
You're in
That's
there.
the
I'm
actor
telling you,
speaking.
I'm bearing my heart now.
You're in there.
I haven't told you this since I saw the movie, but
you're way in there. Look,
so fun.
I feel that way too. I feel like, well, I'm not even in this movie. Look at all of them.
Are you kidding?
I'm even in this.
That eating stuff that you do, God! And when you get so stoned that you become Guy Fieri. That is so funny.
She has those little jelly bellies. Yeah, right.
Edibles.
Edibles.
That's what they're called. Okay.
Aren't you tired of the same old boring lives? Let's go to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is no place for 4 old women.
This could be Tom's last one. He's almost 40. That's like 80 in people years.
Yeah, we're 80 in people years.
I just really need this trip.
Sally is the only one among us who knows much about football.
Well, I'm probably the biggest sports fan here, even though Jane likes baseball, but probably not as much as I do. Maybe. I don't know. She had a look on her face. But
And when do you have time to act or read a script or do anything else? I mean, the talk of you guys enmeshed in sports sort of blows me away.
really, you can do it. You can fit it all in. You can have a full and complete life, Lily. I swear.
Oh,
you can watch all those
Actually,
games.
I don't think she could.
Oh, she couldn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Never mind,
Why?
Lily.
Because
Perhaps
she
it's best.
goes, when she's into something, it's like Greta Thunberg. It's like 2,000% intense involvement. So if she got into football, we'd never see her again.
But that's kind of like me and the Dodgers, so that's what I went in. I mean, with the pandemic and all the Dodgers, I became
And
like...
the only time I ever went to a Dodgers game was to see Helen Dell, listen to her play the organ. She doubled for me whenever I did my cocktail organist.
Wait, you know what? Say that slower. I don't think people heard what you said. You went to the Dodger game to listen to the organist.
Helen Dell, who's now passed, but she was really fabulous. And that
Did she teach you stuff about it?
Well, fingering, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they would be on the big Megatron, or whatever you call it. People would get
Jumbotron.
Jumbotron.
Cocktail organist. I mean,
I
just
wish you
think
could
of
do
that.
I wish just between us one time you would just do a character or two, just quietly. Just
That would be fun for her to do.
Yeah.
The
Well, it'd be
organist.
fun for us.
yeah, just for us. We won't let anybody
Oh
else
my
see.
gosh, please, ladies, girls, mademoiselles.
No, that would be good.
That would be
a
so good.
Character.
I wouldn't mind.
And then you could be him and the lounge lizard.
You could be them all.
What's your character who's a lounge?
Tommy Velour.
Tommy Velour. I love Tommy Velour. And the lounge lizard. You could be both the
You could be
pianist
both.
and the yeah.
See, you two could be Sybil.
Oh, it's too late for that now, isn't it? Sally,
too
two
late.
Oscar Fields.
Never too late.
Well, we did not strengthen our bond during filmmaking.
No, we tested all the bonds.
Yes, that's right. No, we didn't
You
do that.
tested the bonds, and the rest of us are paying for it in the number of hours we have in what's it called?
Rehab.
No, when you have to redo all the sound because someone was talking.
ADR.
Looping.
ADR.
Oh.
Looping. Thank you
Oh,
very
someone
much.
was talking. Are we going to look at me now?
No, I'm looking at her.
Did I do that?
No, I did probably. But it's a kind of comedy that works. You just keep it going.
Yeah, it's
She
true.
called me Gabby Hayes throughout it. Get it? Gabby Hayes?
It's a pretty good thing. That's a good name for you. Gabby Hayes, yeah. He was a little ball of energy.
Yeah, anyway, he was yelling all the time and talking like this.
He was my favorite person on screen.
Slouch
when I
hat,
was
a
little.
little beard,
Great.
and a peg leg.
You could do
no,
him.
That's peg leg
You
Hayes.
could do.
No,
You
wait.
haven't done a
But
Gabby,
Gabby Hayes did not have a peg leg.
No, you're
No, he
right
did not,
about
but
that.
he had no teeth. He had no teeth. He just talked like this. I came in saying, wait, hold on. Then I was 75. I'm not 76. I'm not 80. I'm going to be proud to be 80, and I'm not there yet. And we ad-libbed something in the scene where I said, hold on, I'm not 80, and Rita said, and neither am I. I'm 90. So we had some 80s and some 70s and some 90s. So we weren't all 80s.
That must have rounded us out to like a nice 85.
I think
So,
that's
but
exactly what
was it your idea to cross out the 80 on the back of your?
I think when our costume department heard me constantly saying, no, I'm not that, they said, you know what, we better make that a legitimate change here. But they should have done it on Rita's too. They should have said
90.
crossed out 90.
That's true, that's true.
But you're so much more vain than Rita.
We know that. I mean, my God, I wouldn't have come dead in that hat. That's adorable. No, I'm kidding.
Game's about to start.
There's Tom.
Oh, what a beautiful man.
I like Gronkowski.
We know, Trish. We've all read your Gronk erotica.
It's not erotica. It's fan fiction. Very sexy fan fiction.
Tell us about the whole Gronkowski scene. That's the one I wanted to be in. Tell me about that.
It would have been funny if it was you because
I'm
when
already-
when I pick up the book and realize he's reading the book I wrote about him, which was a sex book.
Yeah.
You call it erotica.
Uh-huh.
And I turned and I bumped into him. I bumped into him about 2 inches below his breastbone. You would have been at his kneecap.
Yeah.
That would have looked weird.
Weird.
Yeah, you would have been looking up at the. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Don't go there.
I spoke to his belt.
And enjoyed every minute of it.
Every minute. Hey, it's Gronkowski's belt.
It was fun. I realized that Gronkowski, who's my wet dream in the movie, was reading the book that I wrote called Between a Gronk and a Hard Place.
That's the book title in the
Between a
movie.
Gronk and a Hard Place.
In the movie, folks.
And I pick it up and I turn around and I bump right into this guy. And I swear to see him required this. I had to, all the way like that. And I said, and it wasn't in the script, you're so big. And his smile, isn't that smile?
And when he says thank you, with that dear smile, this
yeah, I mean, it gets
huge,
a big laugh.
huge man
Gets a big
saying
laugh.
thank you.
Yeah, so see, I'm a character who, I'm scared of getting old, and all I want to do is please men and have boyfriends, and I flirt with everybody and want to marry them after a week. And I promise to my girlfriends, this is a girls' trip, I won't flirt, I swear.
And then I catch her in the closet.
With Harry
kissing
Hamlin.
Well, then you and I had a dance together, was completely kind of improvised, you know. And then we had a little bit of choreography.
But they don't show my part.
They do. That was you with me.
Well, at the dance party, there were. Well,
you
I
mean when we
it-
do the whole getting into the
Stuff was choreographed, okay? It was, we might have improvised.
And we kept complaining, this is too advanced.
You guys kept.
It's got to be simpler. We were complaining.
And I had just had
I
shoulder
tried to do
replacement
it.
surgery, so
Yeah,
I couldn't
she-
lift my arm up, and I just hid behind everybody else.
I just wanted to dance next to Rita once
It was
in my
so much
life.
fun. We
Just
had
once in my
didn't
life.
we have fun?
Yes, we did.
And
I mean,
she
I
was
a
so
fool, but I don't
adorable
care.
because she loves to bounce.
I was bound. I don't.
She's a
bounce anymore.
bouncer, and I
did.
love watching her. She's so adorable.
She's don't say adorable. You can't do adorable
I-
anymore. We're too
Well,
old.
honey, you're stuck with it. I was trying to find a way to not dance well. You know?
Oh, come on.
It's true.
You were trying to dance down.
No,
for
I
me?
was, yes,
You were dancing
absolutely.
down.
I was dancing
It
down.
felt so good to be standing next to you, and all the time you were dancing down. Isn't that horrible?
I hope everybody heard this exchange. She is fighting to dance next to Rita and keep up with her. I'm keeping up with Rita, and Rita was trying to dance back.
Dance bad. I got to stick with her. Oh God.
Well, because the first thing I ran into when we realized we had to do this little dance, and it was little, was that everybody to the woman said, "Oh my God, but you're the dancer, and you know how blah blah blah," and they wouldn't stop with that. And then I thought, well,
I didn't say it. I kept my mouth.
No, you didn't.
I tried
but
not
these
to.
two
I
kept
thought
saying,
it. Boy.
"You're the dancer. You're the dancer."
I thought it. I thought it the whole way.
And I was saying a lot of it to try to protect you all because of your age.
I appreciate that.
I remember that.
I always
Do
feel
you?
protected.
Oh, I do.
I wish I had listened. I wish I'd listened. A year later, I'm barely moving.
Is that what you were
But
doing?
may I just say that everyone was, it's a charming number. It really is.
I can't believe we're actually here.
Taking this one. He's cute.
So you don't have any tickets?
How much for 4?
10,000.
10,000?
Well, I have a 20 in my strap-on.
That's a fanny pack.
If you wear it like this, it's a strap-on.
Wow.
And so when you ate
Yeah.
those hot wings,
Yeah, you were sitting there watching me. Remember?
I was. Was
Yeah.
that really hot?
No.
Oh.
More than that, what did you do after each take?
We don't want. Yeah, it was. Oh boy, was it hot! Because they also don't need to know that I never really ate it. I took all those big bites, and as you well know, the minute they said, "Can I spit it all out in a bucket?" and a big bucket full of half-eaten chicken.
But you
that
didn't
we-
hear that.
Nobody heard
secret.
that.
No, don't say that.
Okay,
In fact,
I
Okay,
ate
we
every-
screwed up.
Kill rights on the eating part.
ate every bit of that very, very spicy.
I just thought that when you had a scene and you were chewing chicken, and you were talking to Guy Fieri, and that was so funny. I mean, I almost, I had to cross my legs.
Well, you could have had that night have gone in the closet.
Tom was astonishing.
You know-
Tom as an actor was astonishing, I think to all of us, and certainly to me. But you know, there's something that actors are able to do and not, and that is listen. Now that seems like, I know that civilians say, "What do you mean listen?" Of course he listens. It's the way in which you listen and absorb what the other actor is saying. And
you know what?
he nailed it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about her nailing
We're talking
it.
about her nailing it.
Yeah.
The speech that she made that changed
Maybe she has a different
everything.
opinion.
Well, I don't think she does. I watched her there. You were
You were
she was the one that
extraordinary.
was crying when you were shooting.
Well, anyway,
it.
what I think about that scene
Yeah, what do you
is how I prepared the whole. I mean, how I thought and prepared for the whole movie was that he was my son. I don't think of him sexually, you know, being seduced by this large, perfect boy man. But I thought of him as my son, which was much more age appropriate. And then I was going to his high school or college freshman year or something, seeing him play quarterback. I have to stop and pause on it.
No, it was quarterback.
Quarterback, I know.
My guy's the
but it
tight
took me
end.
some time to think of it. And I gave him a pep talk, but I thought totally I failed it. I mean, I'm so pleased that Miss Fonda is moved by it, and some other people too, even people in the media. I wanted to say in the speech, I tried to get the director to let me say it.
What?
I don't think it would have been a kind of funny release. It wouldn't have made it wouldn't have negated the speech, I don't think, and I think it would have been totally and wonderfully comedic inspiration, and that was, I was going to say, you know, when the football player becomes the football.
You've said this
You did say
before,
it.
and you know what? You've told us this line before, and you get the same cricket response that you're getting right now. we go.
I couldn't get them to. So I did film it a couple of times.
You did?
Yeah, you
I
did.
tried to throw it in.
And it made no sense to me then.
Well, I don't know. I think you're missing.
Oh, it made
I
sense
think
to me.
really?
It's like when an actor, those moments of when you become the character.
When you become the
When you
character,
become
exactly.
the football.
Yeah, but
And when you're reading a book and
Okay.
you're not reading anymore, you become
when
the
the
book.
dancer becomes the dance
Okay.
is the
the
word.
dancer becomes the dance. I get it.
That's T.S. Eliot. That
I know that.
originated
Yeah,
there.
I
So
know it.
I played Maria Callas in the play, Masterclass. And
well, I wish I'd seen that.
and
You tried out for it, right?
No. No, but
and
thought
I
those
tell
all
you
well.
something, and I'm the most unspiritual person in life. I was visited by her one time during performance. I swear to you, I felt her presence. She has the actress has a very long monologue. And I'm telling you that Maria Callas visited me on that stage one night. It was amazing.
And when I did a part in Homicide, Life on the Streets,
Yeah.
for which I was nominated for an Emmy, and I should have won.
Right. Who visited you?
No, they didn't invite me, but I sang The Somnambulist as an opera teacher.
Yeah.
I had murdered my husband's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'd put my hat on. I'd taken her hat and put it on my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, I sang. I was
La
sitting-
Sonambula.
Yeah, somnambula. I Americanized it, somnambulist.
Okay. And then
That's all I'm just saying.
Oh.
Then I saw the master class, and I was.
put that together.
I was just visited. The song came to me, and then later I sang it in a show.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Gosh, I don't have time to explain.
I
all
got
this
that
to
one.
you.
I got that one.
Rita talked about Tom.
We've said how good an actor
He's
he was.
good. Tom's good. Well, how do you feel, Rita? I think we all feel
Tom's good. Tom was great.
Tom is a wonderful actor.
Tom has any kind of career.
I think we
he's
discussed that
He's very
before.
sweet and considerate and concerned about how he's acting for you and how is he doing anything that's not.
But when Lily does that long speech to him, and he is listening to it, I'm telling you, I said, man, it's like he's listening to it for the first time. And that's what listening really means in acting terms, that you're hearing something for the very first time.
Preach.
That's very hard to do.
It is so great to meet you. Beauty has no expiration date.
Krish,
I didn't flirt. He did.
there's so much here to do. We could even win these tickets.
This is a spicy wings contest.
I could use a little spice.
I know her!
If you black out, who you want me to call?
An ambulance?
I took a pair of very tight bedazzled jeans home with me. Did any of you take any of your, because you all had really interesting
I
costumes.
didn't. I didn't have one single interesting
No, you
thing.
didn't. No,
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
I took a couple of things home. I asked first. I asked in a different way first. I said, "Can this fall off the truck?" And which is something you say when you want to
What
take something
of your
home that you wore.
costumes did
What
you take
fell off
home?
the
I
truck?
took which one? I took one of the amazing dusters,
Okay.
and
had several.
I have a couple of them. But I did
Lily,
have
what
to.
did you
I
take?
asked permission. It did not fall off the truck.
Didn't you wear one yesterday on Kelly Clarkson?
No.
What did you take off the truck?
I didn't take any. I don't know. Usually they give me my clothes.
All of them?
But my clothes, I wore dirty clothes.
I was just pitiful. People felt sorry for me.
I had very.
They didn't even
ordinary
offer you the
clothes.
clothes, did they?
No, they felt,
Of course
they
not.
Your
apologized.
clothes are pretty fabulous.
Oh, they were fun.
You know what I took? You know my scarf that had the bangs attached?
Oh yes.
I took that.
That's funny. That is seriously
I took my headband from sort of the yeah.
Yeah.
I took nothing. Matter of fact, some of those clothes were my own. My own, like sweatpants
And you
my
didn't
own
take them
t-shirt.
back. You
I burnt them afterwards.
You put them on the truck so
I'll
they
pay you to
fall off
keep
for
them.
this
I
one.
put them on the truck so that
I
they
wanted to wear a hat that I love, but nobody bought it, and it's my favorite hat. It says, "So far, this is as old as I've ever been." I love that hat.
Oh, that's a good
Isn't
hat.
that swell?
Yeah.
I love that hat.
These are good.
very good.
Oh, careful, they're high dosage.
High dosage?
Excuse me, I'm looking for someone.
Are you okay?
I'm Guy Fieri.
We had to rewrite the last scene because he had been retired when we performed that last scene in the movie. And then right after that, luckily we were still shooting.
Well, no, it was kind of
Go ahead, you
choreographed.
straighten
It
it
was
out.
choreographed a little bit, well, we kind of knew a little bit in advance, but seeing the way things are going right now, we may have to reshoot it yet and yet again. I don't know.
But we did. They did have to rewrite.
We inserted that in. That last scene was inserted in.
Yeah.
But many things were changing along the way. Remember, so much stuff was changed and rewritten, and the way filming goes, it's constantly stuff being thrown at you and ripped out from under you. And
So, but what do we think about him deciding not to retire? Do we have any opinions?
Well, this season for him was a really, really tough
It's a
one. It
challenge.
was hard for me to watch because I didn't want him to get hurt. I think he'll be. I think he'll be back. My feeling is he'll come back again another season. I wish he'd move teams, but that's my own
But
opinion.
he kind of dazzles
See, I
you.
wish he changed teams too.
Well, he did. I think
Well,
he's
again.
talked about changing teams.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Changing teams again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
This
who in 17 thought he was going to pull that game out? and
Yeah,
he did.
exactly. I
That's-
thought he
think
might pull it
likes,
out
I think
again,
he
but-
likes to get in a tough spot.
He
and-
does. He does. He times it that way.
And then
but
clean it up.
Oops. Do we think we'll not? Do you think, like Tom, we won't retire while we've still got it? What do you think? What do you think?
The thing is that our
I know, yeah.
does she still have it is so dependent on what other people think. that
What
it's
is
a
the
little bit-
it that other people think about, right?
Well, it's also athletes. It's a different world.
That's right. They either have do
Well,
or they don't.
they're it's contingent upon their body being able to hold it together. I mean, our bodies are being held together by toothpicks right now. And
Titanium.
titanium, and we can still go on.
Well,
but-
Lou says, Tom is, come on, Tom is 40 years old. That's 80 years in people.
Yeah, exactly.
In people
terms of
years, that's
people.
it's one of my favorite
exactly.
lines.
So different actors have a different road to hoe, as it were.
Completely.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't care
Well, we
whether
don't
people
know
like
how
me or
long
not.
the
I'm gonna.
planet's going to last.
No, it's not whether they like you or like me. It's whether they think I'm employable.
Yeah.
Whether you can sell tickets.
Yeah. Well, there aren't any tickets hardly anymore. You can go. What
Do you
about
go
Gracie?
do you
Gracie
go to
Friend?
movie theaters?
Well, not so much. I have to say, I'm sort of say that very quietly. No, I really don't.
Do you go to theaters?
Because
Not very often.
Not very often. I
you go to
wait.
But I'm trying
Not
to
very
follow
often,
your
but you know,
lead.
I really want to. I want to, because the experience of watching a movie
know,
in
it's
a
pretty
theater.
great.
I go to theaters.
I love theaters. I
Yeah.
love
You
theaters.
got to see Avatar
I know,
on
I have-
IMAX.
That's
Well,
right.
yeah, that's for sure.
We did. My daughter and I
see
did.
Elvis on the big screen.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's some you have to. I have girlfriends, some sitting right there.
How do you have time to
I know.
save the world?
I read 2 books a week, and I see every movie. And
Not just every
I
movie.
watch-
You watch all the television shows.
Yeah.
Because she comes, she
And
always,
she
always
sleeps-
coming. She was
and
always
she
coming
sleeps-
to work
I
saying,
live
"My God, what a
alone."
performance I
and she
saw
sleeps
last
9
night."
or 10 hours a night. Well, I live alone, and I hardly sleep 4 hours a night, and I read 1 book a month.
but you've got all those grandkids that you pay attention to.
Well, that's true. I do. But you have quite a
Mine are in
past.
college on the East Coast.
Well, mine are too.
So then I don't have to pay attention.
Mine are all over the place.
You know, as in putting them to sleep. I don't have to do that. But I don't understand the idea of retiring. I mean,
It's unthinkable.
and-
Really.
Yeah. I mean, and do what?
Why
Play
would I
golf?
want to retire anyway? Unless, because of age, I would have to. It's possible.
But you have other things you can do.
Yeah, lots and lots of other
Yeah.
things. Right.
And you do
I can do
too.
voiceovers. I'm very good at that, actually.
Isn't that what friendship is? That we face the unknown together?
Let's go, Golden Girls. Come with me. Hey, what?
No, Mark,
Come on now.
Thanks for watching
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you for watching.
Don't ever come back again.
And please
Please
go to
write-
the theater and
write
see
this
Eddie
off.
Brady. It's funny. It is. It's funny and it's sad. And
You're
it's
killing me.
We're working so hard.
I need to go home and rest. I've got a book to read this month.
Amazing.
Eddie Brady.